That's entertainment. You know, when you're a great fighter, a great entertainer in general, you want the person to say, when do I see that person again? When's he gonna play again? When's he gonna fight again? You know, you gotta be able, if you can't put in seats, you're gonna get fired. You know.
Fight, and I have Crawford winning this fight. Crawford's gonna win this fight doing something that nobody's done to Canelo.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. And it didn't take me going to camp to know this.
Okay.
So Israel Majamov says that if Terence Crawford bulks up, that's gonna be the biggest mistake he can possibly make. And that's gonna hinder him from being victorious against Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Mike Tyson shared his thoughts after training with Terence Crawford, highlighting the importance of staying calm before such a huge fight against Canelo. He explained a fighter always faces intense pressure on this kind of stage, but the real battle is psychological. According to Tyson, if Terence can control his mind and avoid being overwhelmed, then he can perform at his best and make winning look much easier. Mir Khan himself, a seasoned boxer who once shared the ring with Canelo Alvarez, acknowledges the sheer magnitude of potential clash between Canelo and Terence Crawford.
You know, fighters, pressure, right? Pressure's not being hit. You know, everybody thinks pressure's like getting on, staying on. Pressure's the thought of being hit. And that's how they fall. The thought is going, I'm not hitting that hard, but they think I am.
Right. So
it's all psychological.
Are you, when you're walking to the ring, are you noticing anything, or are you so locked in?
I see everything moving. Every person, every girl. I see everything.
Dude, your walk-ins would last longer than the fights sometimes.
Do anyone have a napkin on my towels? Because I'm sweating like a pit with one hole up here.
You're sweating.
We will get you one.
You're sweating.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're sweating like Charles Barkley at a spelling bee.
Yeah, I'm going to be sweating pretty hard there, too.
Exactly. So, Mike, we all know you hit hard. Who was the first person that when they hit you, you was like, oh, okay, this guy hits.
Khan believes Canelo is a great fighter with unmatched experience, but he also points out that Crawford possesses real punching power. With Crawford gaining weight and adapting to the division, Khan sees him as a stronger fighter than ever before. He suggests that this is not a one-sided contest because both Canelo and Crawford bring incredible skill sets. For Khan, the bout represents more than just another fight. It is a meeting of two extraordinary talents, each capable of shifting the outcome with a single move. He admires Canelo's proven dominance at higher weights, but cautions that Crawford's ability to adjust, adapt, and rise to new challenges makes this showdown hard to predict. Analysts have been quick to underline the concern surrounding Crawford's age and experience at higher weight classes.
Did that to Canelo after, so to your point, can Crawford do the same? Coming up from 54 and 47, can he, or will that, throw off the catch and shoot? I was going to catch and shoot.
We're not catching and shoot.
Make me think.
We're not catching and shoot.
We're catching and resetting and getting out of this range for a minute or two.
My fight with Arrow, I came back to the corner. I had a look on my face, I guess. And my dad said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing." Like, classic Sean, nothing. He said, "Sean, tell me what's wrong." I said, my legs are kind of tight. He said, "Your legs kind of tight." He looked back, looked behind him. He would always do this and look back at the other corner. I don't know why. He looked back at them.
It was a habit, probably.
He said, "All right, we're not gonna use our legs so much this round." And I was thinking to myself, like, I need these legs.
I'm not trying to wear these shots.
Yeah. So to your point, when there's a feeling,
when the nervous system goes out,
where does that adjustment take place? Do you trust the adjustment? Do you implement it? So that next round I did settle down a little more. I was
lost around.
Whatever. Hell up.
I ain't know around here. Chill out.
He don't even know around here. Pour this water on you. So we got some time until this fight. So we ain't gotta pour it all out at one time. We'll work our way up to this one.
Try to get on big guests to lead up to the fight.
Expect some more very, very big guests, and expect some very, very big things from the Puerto Rico podcast. The week of Crawford versus Canelo versus Crawford takes place here. What is that? September 6th?
13th. I was just gonna say, I've been critical of the fight because I felt like it serves as a foreground to the Ali Act stuff.
At 38 years old, by the time this fight potential materializes, Crawford faces a natural decline that comes with age. While he did step up to 154 pounds to fight Israel Madrimov, that single bout has not convinced all observers that he is ready to stand toe-to-toe with someone as seasoned at higher divisions as Canelo. Age is more than just a number in boxing. It influences speed, reflexes, and recovery, which are critical when facing a relentless opponent. Analysts argue that while Crawford's skills remain razor-sharp, his body may not respond with the same intensity it once did. They frame this fight as the biggest test of his career, not just technically, but physically and mentally given the stakes and the opponent he faces.
Being successful, September 13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium, when he takes on another first ballot Hall of Famer, 4-division world champion, 2-time undisputed world champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford had one fight at 154. That was against Israel Madrimov, the WBA junior middleweight world champion, right? And since then, Terence Crawford has moved up now to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez, okay? And so prior to that, he spent 5 years at what? Welterweight. So the concern that people have for Terence Crawford, rightfully so, is that Terence Crawford will be 38 years of age 2 weeks after the fight. So he's 37, okay? Terence Crawford has one fight at 154. Prior to that, Terence Crawford has been competing, okay, since 2018 for the last 7 years at 147. Since June of 2018, he's been fighting at 147. His only fight outside of that division in the last 5 to 6 years was his fight against Israel Madrimov at 154, which he won, unanimous decision. I thought he handily won, but people thought that he struggled. Israel Madrimov is now 10 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 7 wins by way of knockout because he lost his last fight to Mexican superstar, WBC junior middleweight interim champion Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Crawford and his training team have consistently emphasized their preparation. They note that their focus is on avoiding the mistakes made by Gerald Charlo, who lost convincingly to Canelo. Crawford insists he is not Charlo and that his style, discipline, and ring IQ set him apart. His team has been developing strategies that rely on movement, precision, and smart pacing. The approach highlights their awareness that brute strength alone won't defeat Canelo. Instead, they aim to frustrate him with defense and capitalize on counters. The training camp has been intense, involving rigorous conditioning and sparring sessions designed to mimic Canelo's power and pressure.
Man is simply human. I mean, the more you age and the more weight you gain, of course you're going to be slower. Now, that doesn't mean that he won't be an elite fighter anymore. No, of course not. When you talk about special fighters like Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, they can handle themselves against anyone on any given night in the worst circumstances possible. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get back into the discussion when it comes to Terence Crawford carrying the 168 division, when it comes to the 168 pound weight. So if you actually think about it, Terence Crawford, how is the man looking right now? I know, yes, I know that we have seen the new pictures of Crawford with him looking absolutely massive, but I actually talked about this in one of my previous videos, ladies and gentlemen, which you can go back and check out. Terence Crawford, don't let these pictures fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let these pictures fool you. Yes, of course Terence Crawford gained weight, but the pictures make it seem like Terence Crawford looks like a heavyweight. Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, the lighting and the pump and the angle, everything plays a part in how you look in pictures. You know what I mean? Like, this is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. I can show you 2 pictures of me taken within 24 hours, and in one picture, my physique looks completely different than the other picture. One picture I can take after having a unbelievable workout, with a nice sweat on, with a nice pump, with some nice lighting, and a nice angle. I would look completely different than when I look right now, or getting out of bed, which I just did.
Technics and analysts have pointed out the natural risks associated with weight gain as boxers move up divisions. Speed and agility can be compromised. Terence Crawford, now entering heavier territory, has raised eyebrows with pictures circulating online that show him looking considerably bulkier. However, analysts caution that photographs can be misleading due to camera angles and lighting. Still, the underlying issue remains. At his age and with additional weight, will Crawford retain the quickness that has been his defining advantage?
Quote, it will be a sparring session for Saul Canelo Alvarez. Coach Abel Sanchez dismissed Crawford's chance against Canelo. And it's really because of the weight gain. Renowned Mexican trainer Abel Sanchez has reignited the hype surrounding Canelo Crawford, scheduled September 13th, Las Vegas. Speaking to the ring, Gennady Golovkin, trainer, says, quote, Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why weight divisions exist. Canelo has proven that when he moves up, he faces and beats the best in each category. Neither Bivol could hurt him, nor could my fighter in 2 fights. And he's talking about Golovkin. And even though Canelo and Golovkin fought 3 times, Abel did not train him for the 3rd fight. It was Jonathan Banks. So that's why he said in the 2 fights that he's familiar with, he's saying that Golovkin never really hurt Canelo. The weight jump, the big disadvantage. Crawford, undefeated record. He's 41-0, 31 knockouts. Agreed to move up to 168, blah, blah, blah. And he says, quote, if Crawford had taken 3 or 4 years to gain strength and mass properly, he would have a better chance. But doing it in just over a year is too risky. He'll be slower, and Canelo will dictate the pace. Now, this is a recent picture of Crawford, who definitely looks in shape. And, you know, that's what we come to expect from a guy.
While muscle adds power, it can also limit endurance and flexibility. Abel Sanchez, one of the most respected trainers in boxing, has dismissed the idea that Crawford stands a real chance against Canelo. Sanchez described a matchup as more of a sparring session than a genuine contest, arguing that Crawford is simply too small to compete with Alvarez. His comments reflect a widespread sentiment that Canelo's natural size, strength, and experience in higher divisions give him a decisive edge. According to Sanchez, while Crawford is a great fighter, greatness cannot always compensate for the physical realities of boxing.